Hi and welcome. Now today I want to make this video because I think that we have to go back to the source a little bit. Just as a retrospective, so I started to shoot with the Canon EOS M like 2 or 3 years ago, and since then the Magic Lantern, the software that I'm using with the Canon EOS M, it advanced quite a lot, because at the beginning you couldn't see what you are recording, so it was quite difficult to work with the Magic Lantern. But today it's quite nice experience recording raw footages with the Magic Lantern. And since the beginning I used essentially the proprietary, software, the MLVApp, which is needed when you are recording raw footages using the Magic Lantern, because Magic Lantern records the raw footages in the format of .mlv. And this format, unfortunately, none of the existing, video editing softwares can decode it, can use it. So in order for us that those raw footages are usable, we have to, change the format, right? So in this, it is really helpful, the MLV app. But the MLV app, it's not only that, it's more than just, changing the format of the of the raw footage. You can do basically at the beginning quite much of a thing. And today the main theme is this. I want to talk a little bit about MLV app, and we shouldn't consider it as nothing. It's very important. I'm just amazed that a lot of good footages that I have recorded with the Canon EOS M and Magic Lantern that are really beautiful and nice are only, opened in the MLV app and then changed to a format that can be, encoded or used to be previewed. So I didn't do any color grading or sophisticated things on any other video editing software. So before further ado, let me just present you a little bit the MLV app, and then I will show you generally what I'm doing in the MLV app. Here we are in the MLV app, right? And as I told you, it's quite sophisticated. Now I already opened the sequence, and this is just a really short sequence of a car coming on this avenue, and I recorded because this is a collection car, a vintage car, and it was just a quite nice moment. And there were some event where all these kind of old school ancient vintage cars were just going on this avenue, right? So you can see it here as it coming, and I tried to do some kind of basic recordings. And what I did three a copy of the same thing, because I will show you what can we do in the MLV app with this one. We have multiple possibilities. So what is important? Let's just go to the information bar here, and as an information we can see it here. So it's a .mlv, which was shot with a Canon EOS M. I used the kit lens, so the EFM mount 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens, which starting point of f-stop is 3.5, and if you go out to the 55 millimeter focal length, the basic will be 5.6. Now, the the format that I have chosen recorded the raw footage at the resolution 2520 or with 1080 pixels. The duration, the frames, the frame rates, and the focal length also, you can see it here. So we have plenty of information as I used the Canon EFM proprietary mounts. So yeah, generally at the beginning when I started, I tried to use the the 80 millimeters, so to have a wide view, and anyway you have the cropping, so that depends on which preset are we using it. It's still more than 80 millimeters, right? The shutter speed, and then the aperture. So this is another thing. I mean, even for me, I know generally I'll tend and I want to go beyond, to have a very fast lens and then to try out 1.4, 1.2, that shallow depth of field. But many times, and I don't know if you are like me and you are watching movies, you can see that the framing, it's not all about that shallow depth of field. The majority of the time, the movie is great because you can see everything in the framing, so that everything is in focus, and that's just fine. Now, in this case also, because I have many people, this kind of shots, they just find it really, cool, and indeed, I mean, I'm at f8, and that's just fine. ISO 100, bit depth 14 bits. Okay, levels, the black, the white levels, but that's just fine, and the audio. Now, before let's just dive directly into the MLVApp. So what we have here as options, what we can do with this footage, because we want to transform it, but there are things that we can do in the MLVApp. Like here, for example, we can do the raw correction, meaning that we can fix if there are bad pixels, and chroma smoothing, and we can, if we have the dual ISO, then we can change between the native, the two native ISO that we have chosen. So that's or black levels or white balance. So we can do that also. Then we can work with the exposure, with the contrast, with the temperature, with the clarity, the vibrance, the saturation, so all that good stuff, dark strength, highlight or light strengths, the highlights, the shadows. Even we can do the curves, and then we can choose the processing gamut also, and that's cool. Then we can, what we can do, sharpening a little bit, and just a bunch of stuff. I mean, we can do even in this, we can just, import directly here, LUTs, apply LUTs on the footage. So yeah, I mean, quite capable, this program, this software. So at the beginning, I mean, you can just do really quite a lot of things with the MLVApp. Coming back to the footages, right? So let's just start with the beginning. Like in everything, it's very important that the recording to be already some kind of good recording. Now, in this footage, you can see that you have somehow outside the perfect condition to record footage without needing a lot of equipment because the lighting is just perfect. What I mean by that, look at the cloud, look at how nice cloudy the sky is. So if we are looking just the sky, we can already see that it's perfect condition. It's like a soft box, you know. It's nice. This is what you want if you want to be able, if you want outside to record this kind of conditions. You want to create. I mean, it's good to have sun, but if you have sun, then in your subject, it's better not to have that harsh light on it. So the conditions are really good to record. And as you can see, as it advances, this is why even the white also looks good, because there's just no harsh light. There's just that soft light, and all the sky is acting like a cool softbox. And these kind of moments are just beautiful to record, right? That's why, because if it had been a very sunny day, then this white would mean trouble, right? But not in this case. Okay, now let's start again with the beginning. And let's just see what we can do here. Like here, what I can do, and I'm always doing, like if there's some kind of bad pixel, I always put here fix bad pixels, the automatically. Then chroma smooth. Now that depends. Generally, I'm working on 3x3 or 5x5. That's for this case, use 3x3. And then that's all. I do not touch anything on the raw correction, me personally. Then I come to the exposure, and then I'm just watching, you know, the composition, and then I decide if I want, you know, to play with the composition. And you can see how it's changing if I go with the exposition, right? Over. And then that depends on how you want to do it. Like what, for me, something like here, it's kind of nice. Contrast, again, you can play with the contrast as you wish, right? Temperature, the same thing. Now we are at 5400 Kelvin. And we can change it. Obviously, we do not want that. So, but we can do a little bit if we want. But we have to watch with the white. Right? We have here the white and the skin tones. So, and the red also. So, just has to be, you know, that nice balance. Clarity. Now, clarity for me, if I want really something to record where I want to see, I mean, extremely clear, like that's chirurgical clarity, then yeah, you can apply clear. But you see, for me, it's not that nice. It depends. There are people who want this kind of crazy sharpness, clarity. For me, no. I mean, we can put a little bit. Sometimes I'm cutting it back. I feel that it's nicer. That depends. What do you want to achieve? What is your purpose? Because, as I told you, there are just people who want to see it like this kind of sharp. For me, and for me, I want to find the balance between the two, like something like here, right? Now, vibrance again. Vibrance, one thing that you have to know, but this you will learn in time, is that adding things makes the footage noisier. So adding vibrance, saturation, more even the saturation. If your footage is recorded not on the native ISO, but even if a native ISO, it will make it a little bit more grainy and more noisy kind of. And here we can, with the vibrance, we can just look at like at the red, how that is changing. Yes, changing everything, right? And but there are moments when you decide you can exaggerate and then just change the temperature, but leave that vibrance, right? Or you can just cut back. That depends what do you want to achieve, right? Here, let me just check it. Let's say I can go there with the vibrance, and now saturation. Saturation, this is exaggerated, obviously, but yeah, sometimes you can opt to crazy saturate the footage if you want to do something different. But if we are just looking the red, that will give you some kind of hunch of where things are just exaggerated, like here, you see. And you can cut back until you can say that, okay, that's not over exaggerated. For example, like for me, somewhere here I feel that it's kind of okay, still okay. Dark strength, again, it will change. So we are at 20, just for remembering. And yeah, we can go, it will act like shadows, it will really darken, right? Or if it's less, but it will kill. And you see how it becoming the footage, which can be, a decision, and you can just choose that kind of decision. For me, for example, 20, it was 20, so 22, right? It's and light strength, again, you see, it's showing to you when the light strength is just too much. So this one I will leave it at 0. And then we have the highlight. Okay, so highlights, I mean, if you can see here, this is where you can see the difference. Highlights. So this is when we are down with the highlights, or we are still in the negative one. This is over. So you see here, you cannot see anymore what is happening. But we can definitely cut down a little bit. Now, not that much, but here I feel that it's okay. Shadows, the same thing. If you don't want to be shadowy, and here if you want more contrast, but there's a big difference between contrast and shadow. But this is when you are doing exercises. So this is why I'm telling to everybody, the most important thing is to try out, experiment, see if you like it or you don't like it. Most certainly at the beginning, even when you did a lot, you will do errors, but those are your errors, and then you just have to live with it. Your decisions are your decisions, but you will learn upon your failures, mistakes. Here on this channel or on my second channel, or Daz, I will put in the description box below the link toward that channel. There I just expose, upload all my works, all these footages that I'm recording, and then I'm just modifying it like this. I'm uploading on that channel, and I can see from the beginning until today which are the mistakes that I did then, which are the mistakes that I'm doing right now. And there are always mistakes, but that's fine. That's me. I'm doing mistakes. I'm human. I'm not a robot. But I'm trying to learn about my mistakes. And that's the most important thing also, to learn. Look at what you are doing, what others are doing, color grading. But the most important thing is to develop your style. And if you feel that your style is that and it's appeasing for you, then you should, create the style that you like and just show to the world how do you see, what is your artistical view on a footage. This is the great part with the Canon EOS and Magic Lantern. You can experiment and you can just show to others how do you like things to be seen. So, and what I was talking, yes, I was talking about the shadow. So shadow, it's a little bit different than the contrast. Contrast is, let me just go back to the shadow, to 0 or 1, okay. And we are at the contrast. So contrast, I'm at 25. So contrast, you see how this is shaping, manipulating the passage, yes. So we were 25 something. 23 is good. Also, and shadows, on the other hand, it's affecting differently. You see, it's really nice the way it really just shadowing the light. So and then again, it depends. It's your decision. What do you want with the footage? You can leave it, or you can make it even more luminous, and you see even the colors are not as much saturated as they are like this. But then that depends on what kind of effect you want to create. For me, for example, let me just show you. I can quite nicely, sincerely, I can go with this I'm just looking in the shadows, not to I'm looking on the image, the shadowy part, not to arrive at the moment where I cannot see. So I do not want to lose some kind of details. That's for me the idea what I'm searching for. And here it already tells me that it's just losing. I'm just losing things so that are not visible anymore. So, for example, here it seems, reasonable, right? So I will leave it there. I don't have highlights nor this kind of situations, so I will not touch, but there are moments when I want to touch this one. I can look here up, and if I have something with the white, I just can restrain the white, or I can create curves like this, you see. Or if I want more dramatic, like look. So that's again is to, just try to find a balance, like play with it, right? More reddish, we can go less, but then you have to be careful because you see how it's changing. So yeah, you can do some kind of curves, and then you can mess up the balance, or you can help out the balance, but you just have to be careful in what you are doing. And here again with the green, I mean, these are the YRGBs, but then you have to be careful what you are doing, because as I told you, you can just mess up sometimes and do worse than better. Okay. And even with the shadows, but this is good. I will leave it like this. And then what I'm doing from time to time, I give the sharpen. Sharpen is not the same thing like clarity. So you see, it's not doing that much as we were at clarity. I mean, clarity is really just, for me, in this kind of situation, is just not nice. I don't like it. Don't like that much the clarity. I don't want that much clarity. Clarity also, you have to know that it can create noise. If you're adding stuff, it creates noises. And me personally, on the MLV app, I'm stopping here. There's a possibility, as I told you, if you want to do it here directly to add LUTs, you can add LUTs, but I didn't do it. Now, this footage, you can decide in which gamut you want to be processed. Now we are in Rec 709, and generally I'm using Rec 709, but you can do it in Reg 2020, and you see how this is changed completely, right? And then you can, what we have other things, add up RGB, photo RGB, look at this, and this is changing the colors of the footage. Alexa White Gamut, you see this one is completely different than what we had at the Rec 709, or Sony or DaVinci White Gamut. And yeah, generally these are. So we are in the Rec 709. In the Rec 709, I personally like this look, and I will leave it in this. The white is nice, white, and the atmosphere is just there. It's what I wanted. Maybe I will, even as I seeing, I will take a little bit even more the shadows, because as you can see, as I dropping in the shadows, it looks really cleaner and more appeasing, right? So I will definitely not more. Oh, I like this with the shadows, so it looks, for me personally, it looks really nice, right? I really feel that it's nice. I even go like this. Okay, so this looks really nice, appeasing for me. So it's the time for me to, just save this or export it. So here we can choose what we want. So generally, you see, I am always exporting it in CDNG nowadays, because I just love, because all this thing, I can do it in a DaVinci Resolve, and I just wanted to learn in DaVinci Resolve, but honestly, it's no need. You can do it with the MLV app. So we are talking about, let's just come to the basics, budget, cinema magic. And when we are talking about budget, cinema kind of recordings, I'm assuming, and I want, to come up with ideas where we do not have budget. So I know there are DaVinci Resolve, the free version, but in order to do this what I'm doing, you can do in no matter what kind of computer do you have. It doesn't take that much of a resources. In DaVinci Resolve, if you want to achieve the same thing, it will need a lot more powerful computer, because MLVApp, I got the feeling that, because I know I was working with the MLVApp on a really old laptop, and I could do this. So this is why I'm telling you that this is really a very good and excellent starting point. So what format do we have here? We have a ProRes, 422 proxy, 422 LT, 422 sample, 422 HQ, 4444, uncompressed AV. You can go directly AV and just upload it. CDNG, as I told you, H264, H265, 8-bit 42, or 65 10-bit 42, or 444. You know, motion JPEG, GoPro Cineform. This is for audio only. You have a lot of possibilities, right? Now, for me, what I used from the beginning, I used the Apple ProRes 422. I tried out, and obviously a 422 HQ, it's a very good quality. Now, 4444 is the best, but it's a huge file size, so we can go with the 422 HQ, for example. So then you go 422 HQ. If you have recorded with audio, obviously you will export it with the audio, and generally I don't change anything on this these settings. So just choose that, close it, and then this one is for exporting, right? And now I can just choose, let me on the desktop, I created this, and CDNG. Now this is not CDNG, so we will put here, and this is we have chosen the let me just check it out, because I have already forgotten what we have. Rec 709, so Rec 709, right? So I have to record, because I will edit these recordings then, and I will insert here. So this is Rec 709, Rec 709 ProRes as 422 HQ, right? And then I just say save, and this is started. Now this is a small footage. You have seen it is just a few seconds, so it won't take that much of a time. Now the exporting is ready, so we have in the Rec 79 already, right? So now what I want is I can, all the modification that I have just did until now, there's a possibility with receipts. So we can, so all this modification can be saved as a receipt. And what we can do, I can copy all this modification on another file. This is what I want to do, because I want to have the other ones. So copy receipt, and I want to copy everything. I didn't touch the black level and row black and row white level. So I do copy, and then if we go here, you see this is different, but I can just go and do the paste receipt, and now this one also is the same like the first one. I wanted to keep the first one like it is, because now this second one, I mean, the Gamut, I have chosen the Rec 709, right? So now I want to go with the Rec 2020. And as you can see it here, it changes. It doesn't have the same coloring anymore, which is not bad because maybe you want this kind of coloring. But what we can do, we can play a little bit with it. And now where I just want to work with it, let's see with the vibrance, for example, or the Kelvin, the temperature. Let's start with the temperature first. We can warm a little bit up. Not that much, but let's see a little bit like this. And then we can see a little bit with the vibrance. So you see, I'm playing a little bit with the vibrance and then with the saturation, but I'm looking always the red here. What is happening, and generally, of course. So red, I don't want more than this. And the other ones, it seems like okay. Now, maybe I want to cut back a little bit with the red, but not that much. So I will go with the temperature. Something like this. I'm still looking that the white remains white, and yeah, I think I'm just watching the white is white. It's warm, but it's still nice. Okay, so what is important with this one is that so we are in a different gamut, right? So we are in the reg 2020, and let's just do this one also to export it. I have selected here, right? And now we can export it, and this one will be reg year 2020. And let's just export this one also. Now this one is ready also. And yeah, we have exported. Now what I'm doing, I will come here because I have a third one, and I will apply already the receipts. So this looks like with the first, it doesn't, almost just a little bit greenish. This is, and here I will go to the gamut. I will change it. Let's go with Alexa. It's the same. I think these are all the same. Sony, right? DaVinci. I mean, you can see a little bit here is shifting. I mean, if you want, we can do a different thing, but principally for me, it's quite the same. Doesn't change a lot. Let's go with the DaVinci wide gamut, for example. And let's just do the DaVinci wide gamut. Okay. I mean, I will even leave it like this. Let me just think a little bit. Do I want to push it? Normally, no, it's fine. I mean, I can just a little bit like this. Go with the vibrance, but not that much. Saturation, but not that much. And just leave it like this. So this will be DaVinci wide gamut. So this one, will be DaVinci wide gamut. Okay, and let's just save it. So it is finished. All this, just send it as CDNG. So I have already CDNG uncompressed, and then here I will just choose no, before let me just rename it so that I know what I'm doing. So here I will write rec 709. Okay, this one this one was what was oh, this one is reg 2020. Reg 2020, and this one was DaVinci wide gamut. Wide gamut. Okay. So now I can, let me just check CDNG, and I can export it as a CDNG files, these three. Okay, so this is ready. And what I want also with the Sony Gamut also. So let me just go back. So I have now the options with the Sony. So I will change the Gamut. Let me just put, firstly, paste the receipt. So now it has the Rec 709. And I will change into some Sony Gamut 3, right? Sony Gamut 3, and let's just see if we want a little bit more with the Sony, something like this, maybe a little bit with the temperature, maybe even with the vibrance, the saturation not that much, something like this here. Go back with the temperature. I just leave it like this. So now let's just transform it firstly in Apple ProRes 422HQ. So on this one with ProRes 422HQ. Let's just here. Now this is ready also. So, and let me just, export it as a CDNG also, but using the Sony S Gamut. So we go to the CDNG, and okay, so now I have different formats, and what I will do, I will import it in a DaVinci Resolve, and then we will see if there's any difference between these formats that I have just showed it you, that we did the conversion from MLV to different type of files. Okay, so we are in the DaVinci Resolve here. I just opened a new project and I don't have anything on this project. Is everything timeline, so it's really a new with nothing on it. So what I am proposing to do is to just come and import, don't change, import all these ProRes 422HQ files that we have created. So here we have them. Let me just put first one. We will make it a little bit bigger, but we want to know the name also. So this is one is the DaVinci Gamut. This one a Rec 709. This one is Rec 2020, and this one is Sony. And here we can see, let me just close this one. So we have bigger space. So we have the DaVinci Wide Gamut, right? Nicely balanced. Then it comes the Rec 709. And then we have the Rec 2020. And then here I have the Sony. Now maybe if I want to be a little bit correct, let's just go quickly here and check out. I want to check out a little bit this one, and I can see that is going to the red, so I can use a little bit the tint to eliminate, because I want to be fair with this one, so I don't want to get that greenish, right? So we want to be as fair play as we can, right? Okay, so now to be able for you to just look at it and tell me in the comment section below which one do you prefer, I will just put, let's go with text, very simple, basic, like this. Wide Gamut, so DaVinci Wide Gamut, upper ProRes 422HQ. And obviously, let's just change the size, something like this, and go here. Okay. Right, something like this. Okay. Now we go to the other one, to this one, and this one is Rec 709. So we'll just change the text here. Is rank 709. Okay, and then this one is and this one is rack 20. And this one is Sony S3 Gamut. Sony S3 Gamut. Right. Okay. And once more to be fair play. Let's go, and I see kind of something like this to cut it back a little bit, just a little bit, not that much. Okay, so now we can see it here, each of them, how they shine, right? So I will insert right now so you can watch each of them and tell me in the comment section below which one do you prefer. Now that you have seen these 4 pictures one after each other and then all 4 together, please tell me in the comment section below what is your opinion about these, workflow, which one it seems like it's better than the other one. Obviously, if you did realize, you can change, you can do with each of them whatever you like. Now, one thing that you should remember from these comparisons is that what is the advantage of working with the MLV app? As I told you, the first and the most of it is that it's a very powerful application tool that you see you can already do quite nice things in it, and it doesn't affect, and you do not need a really powerful computer. And then if you are doing all this work with the MLV app and using the DaVinci free version just to edit, cut, and do some stuff, but not for color grading still, you can do it with a very non-expensive, base computer. So that's the other advantage. But right now, let's just see what is with the CDNG files. I have just opened the DaVinci Resolve, a new project. There's nothing, applied, a very proper one. And let's just import the CDNG files. So we have the same 4 CDNG files with different gamuts, and let's just import and see if there's already a difference between of them. Don't change. So let's just do the same thing, import it in the timeline. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just close this one so that we can really see the files. So these are CDNG and no color space transform is done. So this is how it looks like without any color transformation. This is the raw from the Canon EOS app. So if you have seen the manipulations that we did in the MLVApp, now here there's no manipulation. This is coming from the directly from the camera. So how it records raw, neutral. So look at this, right? This is neutrally coming from the camera. This is what it sees. And I can tell you, if you are really interested, this is reality. So quite frankly, this is what I have seen it when I recorded it. So this is just amazing because it really captures what my eyes saw at that moment. Now let's see, this is the DaVinci wide gamut. Now we go to the other one. This is with the Reg 2020. This is with the Reg 709. And this is with the Sony S3. Tell me in the comment section below if there's a difference between these three. So what I will do right now, I will just export this tree like this without any color space transform applied, and insert it and just watch, and after that tell me which one do you prefer. So you just saw it, those 4 different gamut, transformed from .mlv to CDNG. And I would like to know in the description box, please tell me which one do you prefer? Which CDNG is the best? I'm just waiting. Write me in the comment section below. Did you? Well, I don't know about you, but for me, quite frankly, let's just go back in the project and just watch it together. This is this one. I mean, for me, all of them just looks the same. Yes, because in the CDNG, in the MLVApp, there's no point in doing stuff. In the MLV app for CDNG, I mean, you are just exporting, and you are exporting what the camera saw it. Now, let's just do, for example, to make sure that I'm not saying something stupid, let's go, for example, and do timeline. In the timeline, so let's just apply a color transformation. Like, let's do color transformation. So from there to there, and let's just do a very basic one. So let's say here, let's do a color space transform here, and we do, so let's do the input space to say it's the first one is DaVinci White Gamut, right? You see how it's changing, DaVinci White Gamut. Then we go to DaVinci Intermediate, and here let's come from DaVinci Intermediate, DaVinci White Gamut, DaVinci Intermediate 2 times. Oh, it will not go. Oh, yeah, because I don't change the output. Output. Let's just Rec 709. Let's say it in. Transform them, all of them, in Rec 709. Rec 709. Right. Okay. So this is done. And we are coming here. So we are in the Rec 709. And this is Rec 709. And then output color space. Let's go with Sony. Sony S3. And let's use it Sony S-Log. For example, S-Log 2, S-Log 3. Let's go with the S-Log. So I did a really, simple colors transformation, right? And now I applied to all of them. So this is the first, the DaVinci White Gamut. This is then the Reg 2020, and this is Rec 709, and this is Sony S3. So you see, although I put them, all of them, the 3 of them, in color space, it still remains the same, because as I told you already, in CDNG, to do something in the MLV app, it doesn't make any sense. So MLV app, it's fantastic, it's great if you decide or you want only to do there the color grading. But in time, so I really advise you to do there to learn. Once you have learned and you know how things are doing and you want to involve, then you have the possibility like this to come to start and do the color grading, for example, in DaVinci Resolve. And that's really nice. But before of that, it's just, and now you see, so I did a really basic color transformation. So the color transformation for each clip I did from DaVinci White Gamut to Rec 709. and then I remained in from Rec 79 to Sony S-Log. And now we are in the Sony color space. It's a little bit funny, but let's just do with the Sony color space exportation. So I'm exporting in MP4, 4K, and let's just watch together. Okay, so we finished with that one. And as I told you, I found a little bit, crazy that we are using Sony color space with the Canon. So let's just do a Canon color space. So I'm going down back to the timeline. We remain in the same, DaVinci Rec 709, and then here again Rec 709 and Sony, but this time we go to Canon. And then I'm choosing, for example, the Canon. Let's go with Canon Cinema Gamut, right? And here we go to Canon back. Now Canon, we can go Canon S-Log, S-Log 2, S-Log 3, or this one, Cinema Film. So Canon, which one I do prefer? I think I will go with Canon log. So now we are in the Canon color space, right? So we are in the Canon color space. So what I will do, I will export this one, Canon color space. And then we can just, compare it to see with the Sony what's the difference. Okay, so it finished. And now I will insert the video and let's just compare it. And in the comment section below, tell me please, which do you prefer? The Sony color space or the Canon color space, for example? So I hope it was really interesting and you have understood that the MLVApp, it's really a powerful tool. And before you transform it in CDNG and you start to learn color grading, you can already use just the MLVApp and do the color corrections there. Of course, it's limited to what you can do in DaVinci Resolve, but you have to understand that it can be complicated in the DaVinci Resolve, and if you are more about just having that raw footage and that Canon color science that is coming out from the Canon EOS M, then the MLV app is just enough. You can already achieve great results with the MLV app.